Just wanted to start off. I know Tony Peterson has talked about how important your position is to the offense. Can you take me in why the tight end is so important and what you need out of those guys?
Yeah, it's been fun to hear learning a new system and what Tony's doing with the tight ends. Those guys are moving around a lot, giving a lot of different looks, and they got to be smart football players rather than just memorizers. They got to be physical and they got to be good receivers. It's been a lot of fun coaching them and getting them through some of the ins and the outs of the initial install of our playbook.
And what have you noticed so far out of the two older guys that obviously have shown talent, Daniel Barker, Luke Ford? What have they shown you so far? What do they bring to the table?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of talented guys. DJ and Luke, the two oldest. They got a lot of abilities that you can't coach. They got, frame and size and length and things like that. Just working on the simple things of being physical, finishing plays, giving great effort, just little technique things that I think they can really improve on, but definitely showing the inability to be good football players and productive football players for us this fall.
Have you noticed, like, this is obviously a big schematic change for them? Is there one thing they have to adjust to the most, or what are the things they do have to adjust to?
I think just terminology, how we're saying things and putting it in the language that they know, and them learning, that becoming our new language here. And that's the biggest thing, because all the skills they've done before in some capacity. It's just perfecting those things a little bit better, doing everything a little bit better.
Thanks, Ben.
Hey, Ben, good to see you. Kind of wanted to branch off of something Jeremy asked regarding Luke Ford, because it seemed like Brett Bielema was pretty excited about Luke when he talked to us on Wednesday. Are you feeling kind of that same excitement about him specifically? I mean, I know you kind of just mentioned some intangibles that he brings to the table, but do you feel do you share that excitement that Brett kind of has for him?
Yeah, I'm excited. Luke, just him alone, just speaking about him, he's got good energy. He's a good hard worker who we got to just continue his habits, being a great practice player every single day. But like I said, he's got some things that God gave him that he didn't give other people, and he can't coach some of those things. But the things you can coach, and he's willing to listen and willing to be coached, he could be a really good football player.
I know we just mentioned Luke and then also Daniel. Are there any other guys who have especially stood out to you through these early spring practices so far?
I think you'll see Tip Ryman hop in there a little bit with the first group tomorrow as well. Excited about him as a walk-on, but a big, tall, long guy who gives great effort and just a great attitude every single day. He'll be hopping in there a little bit with the ones tomorrow too.
And if I could get one more in, your recruiting area, according to those maps that were released on Twitter, is a little bit just north of here. What have you kind of learned about that area so far, and what has it been like recruiting in Brett Bielema's system so far?
It's been fun, and I don't think anywhere in the country there's a head coach who works harder in recruiting than Brett does, which has been incredible to see. The involvement he has, the commitment he has to recruiting here, to getting the best players in Illinois to come play, for the University of Illinois. It's been really impressive and encouraging to see how hard he works. Helps us obviously work even harder to keep up with him and the way he recruits.
Thank you, Ben.
Hey, Ben, good to see you. We saw, I think, Preston Engel, working out over there with the tight ends. We've seen Josh Beetham. I guess just broadly, when you guys try to make a position change to the tight end, what skills or attributes are kind of a requirement to get that thing going and that you're looking for?
Yeah, Preston came over with us. Obviously, he was a little bit undersized for an offensive lineman, but a great kid, and hopefully he could give us something in the run game. We got to teach him to catch a ball a little bit, but he's got good hands, soft hands. Josh coming over from quarterback, the two different guys in that capacity, but really to play tight end, you got to be a little bit of receiver, a little bit of O-line. You got to be able to move around and almost a quarterback in a sense of the understanding of the offense and where you fit in certain places in the run game, how we can use you in the pass game, as a slot receiver, as an outside receiver, as a number 3 receiver in the backfield. There's a lot of different things you got to know. So it's a mixture of a bunch of positions that you got to have the ability, the knowledge of the offense to be able to do.
And then I wanted to touch base with you. Like, you're also the special teams coordinator. What's that like for you, balancing your 2 job titles? How's that going for you? What are you learning about that other unit?
Yeah, it's it's something I've always done in my past. I've always kind of managed all the special teams and in a position group as well. So it's kind of business as usual for me in terms of how we operate. Got great support staff here, which has been fantastic to have. I haven't really had that before, so that keeps you organized a little bit more. But obviously, you learn a lot of defensive players too, working with all the special teams and our other assistant coaches. Man, our defensive coaches, our linebackers coaches, our wide receivers, running backs. I mean, all those guys are doing a fantastic job, kind of making it a unit effort. But obviously, learning some defensive players is kind of fun. Different personalities, different backgrounds, different positions that you're working with. You end up working with special teams. You end up knowing everybody on the team, which is pretty awesome.
Has Blake Hayes lobbied to run the football more?
No, no. Those we still joke about those. Yeah.
Thanks, Ben.
Hey, Ben, I want to talk a little bit about Griffin Moore. What have you seen out of him so far during camp and or spring practice? And what do you think he can give you as spring and next fall rolls around?
Yeah, Griffin, a local kid here, and has done some things that I was a little bit questioning what he was going to be when he came out. And day one in pads, he came out and hit some people and did some things that encouraged us. It's the same thing, I think, with everybody here is we're a little bit just trying to build a culture of how we want to practice, how we want to approach each day. And he's another one who's got some talent. He's young, inexperienced, played different position in high school. So we're teaching him a lot of things that are new. But he's got soft hands. He's got some athletic ability, and he's a smart football player. So been encouraging with Griffin.
And I know we heard from George McDonald the other day on Kale Griffin running some reps with the wide receivers. Now hear it from the special teams coordinator talking about what it's been like for him making this, switch and running both areas, doing some kicking and then going over and running some routes with receivers.
Yeah, I think that's just an honor to Caleb's athleticism, that he can do that. He's kicking at the beginning of practice and then going over and taping his ankles and then running around with the receivers, and looks good at times, looks bad at times, but he's learning on the run in the Big Ten, playing wide receiver. It's not easy, but just shows you what a great kid he is and the ability that he has. But we're not losing sight of his ability as a kicker. I'm not, at least.
Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it.
Hey, Ben, I just want to follow up. Logistically, how do you pull off both special teams and tight ends? Like, how do you split that up during a practice?
Lots of help. Lots of help. But what's nice is the specialist group is an older group, a mature group. Those guys, if you ask them to go chart something or put something together, the way they practice, they can go do it. You can film it. I can watch it with them later. And, the maturity level of that group's got to be pretty high, because you could go over there and sit around and jack around if you wanted to, but those guys want to be great. They want to be really, really good. So any structure you give them, they're more than willing to go work at it.
And I know you guys have made tight end a big priority in recruiting. What is your message to some of those 2022 guys about the opportunity?
I think we're going to use a lot of tight ends. You're going to see guys rotate in and out. Be like I said before, you're going to play inside receiver, outside receiver, unit tight end. We're going to be in the backfield. We're going to be doing a bunch of different things, that just correlate to being a great blocker, being a great receiver, getting you into open space and green grass against a smaller defender, that we can use your talents. So I'm really excited about what the tight end position is becoming in our offense as we go through this thing together.
Great. great. Thanks, Ben.
Ben, if I could just like follow up, I guess 14 years, I mean, more than 14 years at one place with Air Force. What's this last few months? How are you adjusting to new scenery? Like, how has this been for you?
I grew up in Ohio, so the scenery looks a lot like Ohio. It's flat, it's cloudy, but we saw the sun today. It's been nice. Coming from Colorado, there's a lot of sunshine out there, but no, I mean, I worked in Champaign before, so it's not a real new place to me. Obviously, for my family, they're still in Colorado. Excited. They were out here for a week, and we moved into a new house, and which I'm living in by myself, empty right now, which is kind of fun. But they're fired up. They're going to get here end of May. Excited for the change. Excited for a new adventure. But Champaign, the people here have been awesome, just like I remember, and we're just so excited about the opportunity to be here.
What's the biggest thing you've learned? I mean, you talked about Brett on the recruiting trail, but what's the biggest thing you've learned about him in 4 months now?
He really is. He's looking out for everyone. He's trying to teach us as coaches to be better coaches while trying to guide 100 players to be better players and a team to be a better team. The individual attention he gives each coach, the individual attention he gives each player, the individual attention he gives each recruit. It's amazing how the guy can be in 14 places at one time. But he is. That's been the most impressive thing for me to see from him and learn from him is how to manage it all and how he does it. I don't really know at times, but he's doing a heck of a job, making me feel an integral part of the staff and making each player feel that way too.